Hey there, GRRR travelers, welcome back. I'm on my second day of Florence and so far I've been having an amazing time. I actually got a cold and it just overnight it got full blown, but that's not gonna stop me. I've always wanted to have my under the Tuscan sun moment. However, a lot of travelers will tell you that you cannot explore Tuscany without a car. There's no public transportation to get around there. To make my dream happen, I am enlisting the help of the tour guide. They will help me appreciate the good wine of the Tuscan region as well as explore the countryside. Come along. We are at the Piazzella Michelangelo right now. This is an amazing view. I wanted to come up here. I didn't know if I was gonna get to. You'll see David right there. Michelangelo's David. When I was here in Florence the first time, this is the view I saw and this is what made me fall in love with Florence. That and Michelangelo's David. One thing as a solo traveler, I always try to sit in the front seat these days, especially when I'm in a group tour. Kind of backfired on me because now there are 3 of us and I'm stuck in the middle.
Setting off, time to go, engines running, we're on our own.
We're now at San Gimignano. That took us about maybe 45 minutes to an hour to ride. We've got 2 hours to explore this town on our own. Take the hair down. In romantic mode right now. That's because you can't see the backside of my head. Very unromantic. There are 3 towers. There used to be 72. You can tell it's not very ornate. It's still fairly simple. Not too old though, because the type of brick that they have is still kind of not old. These torture museums sure do get around, I feel like. This is the 2nd torture museum I've seen in kind of like a small little medieval looking town. So maybe that's kind of a thing. Yeah, I think this is like a similar thing to the last one I was at. This is very similar to the one that I saw in San Marino. I guess they must have a chain. Even with a stuffed nose, I can smell the salami here. It's like products from this region, maybe? Looks like a gourmet shop, actually. There seems to be always a peak traffic time when all the tourists and all the tours come out at the same time. And after this rush, that's when it clears and then the locals come out. During that rush, it gets really congested and you start noticing all the shops that are meant for tourists. They also tend to bring you out during the worst time to shoot. Right now it's around 11 o'clock. This is like the most horrific daylight hours to shoot under because everything's so contrasty and so extreme. So you can't even see that archway. That's a good sign to always know. It's the toilets. Scenic spot. Oh, I can feel it. I kind of wondered how it would be different to drive on your own versus take a tour. There's around 20 people in our group. I think it's around 20. We have 2 vans and I'm not sure how I feel about this experience yet. When you're traveling with tours is you're only seeing one time of the day in which it's really overcrowded with other tourists. You're not seeing the downtime when the tourists aren't there and it's just kind of like locals hanging out. I think had I not seen so many tourists, I might have a slightly different feeling about this medieval town. But right now it just looks like it's very touristy. Okay, here we are in this little square here, surrounded by 3 towers. Now, in the past, the wealthy Italian families used to commission towers as a sign or symbol of their power. The bigger or the taller you could make your tower, the more influence you had, supposedly, the more power you had. Not sure what you can wish for or why it's like a wishing well. Sure is a lot of money. Just think, you saved all those coins, threw into wishing wells. Probably be able to eventually afford your dream. Really explore like the culture of the city. It would be helpful for you to get like a day pass. If you're like me and you don't have much time to see the city, well then you've got to just kind of like stick to the outer layers. But even the outer layers carry a lot of character and distinction. I think 2 hours gets you just a sample platter of figuring out what the city is all about. Even though I'm on a group tour, this part of exploring this town is completely self-guided. It's not always easy to figure things out on my own. I hit a lot of misinterpretations. I don't always understand what I'm seeing with guides or with locals. You can get so much more of an insight and appreciation when you learn about it. Whether you are someone who needs a little helping hand, who needs information behind you, or you're just someone who wants your freedom to explore the place at your own leisure, then all of it's good. Back in the van. I'm in the vineyards of La Morenaya. There is a family that owns this vineyard. Everything here is organic. They create their own wines in their facility where they do wine tastings.
Oh, you said hey, never mind.
Now, I'm not gonna lie, the Italian food vocabulary is a little above me and beyond me. I'm used to street food, but there's a lot of interesting intricacies of Italian food that I didn't know about, and I appreciate so much more after learning. There's a lot of rules, it seems, with Italian food because there's such a high quality being put into the food. Like balsamic vinegar and how that can be paired with desserts or with different cheeses. The difference between Parmigiano Reggiano and Parmesan cheese. To understand the processing or the aging of things or even the certification that goes on or that's involved in putting your product out there. All of these things are just things that I didn't really know about.
But when you go to Rome for the history.
The sweet tomato sauce on this pasta, and then you've got the kind of like a tang into the red wine. Balance out each other so that the pasta is not too sweet and the wine is not too sour. 20 minutes later. Kind of strong wine.
An everyday wine, so something that you can pair easily with a lot of different food.
That makes sense.
I don't want to say I did the same thing.
And relocation companies move in, when they move out, like mortgage broker.
This wine is named after their sheepdog. It's really cute. You know, I wanted to like the dog's wine, but because I like lighter foods, I really prefer this one and this one. I think particularly like this rosé, this rose drink. This is my favorite. Okay, I'm getting a little heady. There's a lot of wine drinking. I'm not used to drinking. It is very interesting to try all these different wines. Taste like the range of body that each wine has and to understand what foods it can go with. But I think I've been having a little bit too much wine. So maybe I didn't get my full under the Tuscan sun experience. But I was in Tuscany under the sun. And what more could you ask for? Thanks for watching. It's through resourcefulness and viewers like you who keep my channel going. So if you love what I do and want to see me continue creating solo travel videos, why not support me on Patreon? Jump behind the scenes with others for my latest trip updates and reward perks. Stay tuned for more Italy videos as I take you behind my solo travel adventures. Until then, travel safe, smart, and fun, and may the GRRR be with you.